physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted in the various groups from around the world. Today is day 2 of our personalized celebrations at the Sri Narayan Dham in the month of the Ramanujans. It is "22 days of continuous satsangs to discuss the Sri Sampradaya in all its aspects and all its dimensions. The Sri Narayan Dham is an affiliate of this eternal tradition or Sampradaya called the Sri Sampradaya. And for the very first time last year, during lockdown, the Sri Narayan Dham started this festivities without a physical audience. We started this on the 5th of May 2020 in the midst of total lockdown in South Africa. This satsang is spiritual, not religious. Hence, there is no requirement to have satsang only when there is an audience physically. It was for the very first time that the hymns of the 12 Alvars was played on the African continent and then sent around the world. It was for the very first time the hymns of the 12 Alvars was played on the African continent and from the Sri Narayan Dham as a via medium sent to every continent on this planet Earth. We continue in that tradition this year, and as long as the Sri Narayan Dham exists, then these celebrations will exist without me being physically present. This is the uniqueness of the Sri Narayan Dham. I have stated yesterday that the Sri Sampradaya is eternal, and then when it was not utilized and experienced by humans, it still existed like a river flowing underground. And it was Natha Muni, Yamanujacharya, Lord Sri Ramanuj, his 74 disciples and their great grand disciples 1,000 years later, Govindacharya ji, who was the guru of my Guruji, then my Guruji, and today myself. Although the Sri Sampradaya is practiced and experienced both in North and South India, very few people around the world knew or know of the existence of this eternal Sampradaya. And it is our mission here at the Sri Narayan Dham, without fear, to boldly broadcast the absolute truths of this Sampradaya to every corner of the globe. And I was glad when I heard yesterday's, or read yesterday's heading of yesterday's discourse. There is no Sanatana Dharma without the Sri Sampradaya. And as usual, my Vishwadhar Ramanuj Das went into panic when he heard such a bold declaration. And I told him, be strong, my boy. This is the absolute truth being stated around the globe. And if there's anyone that want to contest this truth, the Guru will come like a load of rocks. And that gave him some brevity. He is now transcribing the discourse as I speak. The power of the 12 Alvars. And I'm sure those of you that are here present, both yesterday and today, these hymns is so powerful that it can dislodge your balance, both physical and mental. These hymns are that powerful. The potency is there. Use this month to listen to these hymns. This is one of the reasons we have declared these 20 days, 22 days as the month of the Ramanujans. So you can savor the potency of these hymns by the Lord's eternal associates. There is no other system. There is no other system other than the Sri Sampradaya that is 100% compliant with the Vedas. No other system in Sanatana Dharma that is 100% compliant with the Vedas. And it's going to continue to be this in every cycle of creation. Every cycle of creation. So how many sampradayas are authorized in the Vedas? Venita, how many Sampradayas are authorized in the Vedas? 4. In which part of the Vedas are these 4 Sampradayas authorized? Vishwadhar. In the Padma Purana. What does eternal mean? Always existing. Always existing. The Padma Purana states that there are 4 authorized Sampradayas. The Sri Sampradaya, the Brahma Sampradaya, the Kumara Sampradaya, and the Rudra Sampradaya. Mother Lakshmi does not cease to exist when the universe is wound up. Is she? Or does she cease to exist when the universe is wound up? Or does she continues to exist? Does Brahma cease to exist when the universe is wound up? Yes. Are the 4 Kumaras, do they cease to exist when the universe is wound up? Does Rudra, well, Rudra is not here today. Okay, I heard he'll be here on the weekend. Does Rudra cease to exist when the universe is wound up? Yes. So I'm not saying this because I belong in the Sri Sampradaya. I'm saying this because it is logical to deduce that those Sampradayas get wound up when the universe gets wound up are temporary Sampradayas, aren't they? Because this universe is temporary, but existing beyond the limitations of this universe. Eternally is this Sri Sampradaya. And this is why I acknowledged my transcriber's decision to put that without the Sri Sampradaya there is no Sanatan Dharma, because Sanatan Dharma and the Sri Sampradaya exist simultaneously. Sanatan Dharma, Sri Sampradaya exist simultaneously. Is that very difficult to understand? Is it difficult to understand? Vanitha? The Sri Sampradaya is not a temporary Sampradaya. The other 3 Sampradayas exist for 311 trillion, 40 billion years, and then it is wound up. Whilst the Sri Sampradaya continue to exist eternally. The Vedas continue to exist eternally. Knowledge continues to exist eternally. Vishwadhar, are you understanding? Hiranyakasipu, are you understanding? It is not a declaration of emotion when the Guru states that the Sri Sampradaya is the principal Sampradaya. It cannot be any other thing than be the principal Sampradaya if you take the authority from the Vedas. You understand there, my boy? This is a message for you, all right? You can change the way you exist. You can latch on to the eternal truths or be blown away by the partial truths. You understand? Partial truths will give you partial knowledge, and eternal truths will give you total knowledge. Is it logical? Sita?
Yes.
Looking very worried. Well, demons do that in a bona fide satsang. Ravana did the same thing a few years ago. I choose my demons carefully. I don't know whether one demon is directing another demon.
None of the same, correct.
I just saw a silhouette. It's dark outside. Happy birthday, Vasan.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you understanding? Can you see where you are situated in terms of receiving this knowledge? Each one of you that are physically here today, that's listening, have gratitude for the merits that you have. Have gratitude that you belong to the Sri Sampradaya. Can there be anything more valuable to the human body than to associated to the Lord in His eternal dimension? Can you be more closer than the absolute truth, than being an aspirant or a devotee or a disciple in the Sri Sampradaya? Kimlan? No one can shift the parameters of the Sri Sampradaya. 1 millimeter in or 1 millimeter out, it is cast in stone. It is cast in stone and headed by Mother Lakshmi herself. All of you understand? Be grateful through your own merits that you can be part and parcel of spirituality at this level. The Lord works tirelessly, day in, day out, minute in, minute out, hour in, hour out, and seconds in, seconds out, so that you can reach Him. You can reach Him. Many manifestations, many incarnations, many partial incarnations. The Lord is continuously working so that you can be seated here today in this form and this manner to receive His grace. The Lord works tirelessly, 24/7, every year, every millennia, 311 trillion, 40 billion years at a time, non-stop, so that you can reach and sit on this platform. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away. If you reached here, then in front of you is the finishing line. You are about to finish your miseries in life. You are about to finish the miseries of your life, even you too, Vasudeva. About to finish the miseries of your life. There's the finishing line. Don't throw it away, because I've stated previously, this human body can be counted. It's the only vehicle that can be accurately counted on this planet. 8.4 million other vehicles cannot be counted, which means this vehicle is very rare. You may not get it as you got it in this lifetime. Any questions up until this point? I'm waiting to see what's our headline tomorrow. Okay. In your face, headlines. Amita? Yeah, you must be brave. To be in this Sampradaya, you can't be a soldier. You have to be a general. Not general secretary, secretary general. Secretary general. Understand Vishwadhar? Hiranyakasipu, have you got any questions? How many more days you're going to carry this title? Hiranyakasipu and Ravana disturbed this satsang together. That's what demons do. They stopped my discourse. Vishwadhar, were you a witness to this? All right. Mama, where's my maki?
Coming. He'll be up here tomorrow.
Okay. Any questions? Jessica?
No, Guru.
So why did you not know this before, all of you? Why did you not know that the Sri Sampradaya is in existence and it is eternal? How many of you knew this before meeting me? How many of you knew Lord Sri Ramanuj before meeting me? How many of you knew Lord Sriman Narayan before meeting me? Hey, Mama knew Lord Sriman Narayan. Nara means? Nara means? And Ayana means? Mama? Water. Mama knew the liquid form of Lord Sriman Narayan. Hot water. And he taught his nephews. Mama. The rest of you. Which means that the current of the Sri Sampradaya is running underground like it did 1,000 years ago. Is it not? Is it not? Well, 1,000 years ago, it was not even known in India very well. I'm talking about the Western world. Many gurus, since the early 19th century, left India, went overseas, but nobody preached the Sri Sampradaya. I think it is Chinnajaya Swami who started preaching Sri Sampradaya actively around the world, together with Lord Sri Ramanuj's mission, equality for all. And now we're using this great technology called social media. So I can sit here and beam this discourse around the world. When more than 51% of the world knows of the existence of the Sri Sampradaya, then you can say the river of the Sri Sampradaya is flowing in this earthly dimension. How much of work there is? The way Sita is shaking her head, that one of the days she's get up and push the numbers up to 51%. A lot of work, Sita. Divashni, you're not well, Vanita. Want some water quickly? Okay, get some water. And you can turn the camera, Vanita, Hemita. Yes, you get in water when. No, when the water comes. So Vishwadar, 51% of 7.8 billion. $4.1 billion. How many people in 1.2 billion of India knows of the Sri Sampradaya?
From my experience, very little.
About a few millions? Can you see the difficulty of revealing this knowledge to the world, Hemita? You think you'll give it a few more hours a day now that I've brought this stark reality to your attention. You can and this is one of the many reasons we have in this 22 marathon days of satsang, so we can specifically concentrate on expounding the Sri Sampradaya to the world. To the world. You are an excuse locally so that I can transmit this knowledge internationally. You are an excuse locally to attend these satsangs so that I can transmit this knowledge internationally. All of you understand? Hiranyakasipu, divine knowledge shatters the demons. When are you resigning from your demonic post?
Saturday morning.
Vasudeva not very happy that whilst he was lost in his romance, another demon replaced him in this satsang. He thought he's the eternal demon. And now he got that quizzical look on his face. He thought without him there'll be no demons in this satsang. He thought he's invincible as a demon. God created many demons. Vasudeva, whilst you lost in romance, another demon took his birth in your satsang. Are there any questions? Are you understanding? I'm not seated here emotionally to promote the Sri Sampradaya through emotion. I'm promoting it as per Vedic injunctions. And I've given you a logical and a Vedic understanding. Logical and a Vedic understanding. So 1,000 years ago, the situation was the same. 1,000 years ago, the situation was the same. You could count on your fingers who knew of the existence of the Sri Sampradaya. And Lord Sri Ramanuj spent his entire lifetime to extract the Vedic injunctions and hand it to us, the later generation gurus, on a platter. So that we could take this knowledge and distribute it to you comfortably. Comfortably, you understand? With ease, I'm distributing this knowledge to you, aren't I? Seated cross-legged on a beautiful Vyasasana, But Lord Sri Ramanuj took his entire lifetime, almost 100 years of his life, to synthesize this knowledge and compress it into a spiritual capsule, so that the knowledge from this capsule can be assimilated by every one of you. All of you understand the greatness of Lord Sri Ramanuj. The first injunction of knowledge came from Vedavyas. Then it was not practiced. It stopped being practiced. And then it went into total darkness through misinformation by those claiming to be gurus in various traditions. Right now, to date, the same thing happened that happened after Vedavyas compiled this knowledge. Gurus misinterpreted the Vedas, or gave commentaries out of context, or made their own Sampradayas, offshoots of Sampradayas. You understand? And all this is necessary for the Sri Sampradaya to continuously re-establish its existence, its eternal existence. All of you understand? You understand, Amita? In this month, you must be very, very clear why you are attending Satsang at the Sri Narayan Dham. You must be very, very clear. You must know your reason why you are at this Satsang. Sita, in conclusion, why are you in this Satsang?
I want to gain more knowledge on the Ramanuj. What Ramanuj wrote about.
That's the only reason why you're here. Sita?
My guru is here.
Oh, now there's two reasons. Any more reasons? Rakesh, why are you here?
Gain knowledge.
No. You know the Guru's potency in turning liquid into medication. And you hoping one day a Guru just touches a whole tanker load of water into something that you relish. Because why? Yeah, so you bring in your water to me hoping, Guru reads your mind, Rakesh bhai, now and again. See your mama who taught you that nonsense, how he is smiling. Vishwadhar, why are you in this satsang?
For peace and happiness, which comes from knowledge, which runs my heart and which leads me to nature.
Hiranyakasipu? Did Vishwadhar make sense? Is here for peace and happiness. Still troubling, Vanita? Take one walk outside, Vanita. Yeah, just say Om Namo Narayan. Just take a cool walk outside and come back, you'll be alright. Aircon is off. Are there any questions? You can start the Aarti.